And good morning. Today we want to look in Matthew chapter 24 in just one verse. There's a lot going on around it. This is in the middle of the Olivet Discourse. And Jesus is describing the events that are going to take place. This is Jesus the prophet. He is talking about the events that would take place in AD 70 when the Roman legions encompassed Jerusalem, when they destroyed it so thoroughly that not one stone was left upon another at the temple. So Jesus was talking to Christians. What are you going to be like in that day? He talked of times of fleeing. If you see all these signs and see everything happening around you, then go out from the city. Interestingly enough, history tells us that the Christians did exactly that. But in the middle of all of this, and in the middle of all of this distress, and in the middle of everything, whoa, if you're pregnant, oh, better watch out. This is going to be a difficult time. It's going to be a crisis. And I want you to look at the power of prayer. And I want you to look at what it is in joining God, in joining our minds, and aligning not only our minds but our lives with the will of God. I turn your attention to chapter 24, Matthew, and verse 20. Mark 11 records the same thing for us. But here in this reading, the one admonition of Jesus: pray that your flight might not be in winter or on a Sabbath. For then there will be great tribulation, such as has not been from the beginning of the world until now, and never will be. And if those days had not been cut short, no human being would be saved. But for the sake of the elect, those days will be cut short. Do you see the power that is involved in prayer? And it's not the power of my words. It's not a magical incantation that if I just phrase it right, God will say, oh, I guess now I have to act. No, it is joining together with Him. It is a uniting of the minds. It is the Christian man, the Christian woman, doing the things that God expects of us in time of crisis. Don't panic. Pray. Understand that God has the big picture in His mind. I can't even imagine what it was like in AD 70. If you're minding your own business, and here come the Roman legions, Titus is going to exact a revenge. And he did. But God's people were spared, and the days were cut short. That's my prayer. How long will this last? I don't know. How many will die? No one knows but God. And He holds all of this in His hand. The great tragedy is not in the death of a person. The great tragedy is in the death of one who is lost. This is God's chief concern, and this should also be ours. I pray that suffering will end. I pray that this virus will be contained. But will we trust in times of crisis? My God, thank you so much for your Son, Jesus Christ, for teaching me how to look inwardly and change so that I can look outwardly and impact. Father, use me, discipline me, change me, transform me. But Father, as you are working on me, you're also working in this world. And Father, I pray that the days of this pestilence be cut short. But not my will be done, but yours. Father, how will you use this for your greater glory? We pray for a revival. We pray for an upsurge in people who, instead of casting their eyes to this earth, they will lift up their eyes and behold the glory of the God of our salvation. And it is in the name of His precious name, Jesus the Christ, that we pray. Amen.